What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is adamant on his opinion as a trainer. He's passionate about it. I think that's one of his only true loves um, in this world. And and he also stated that the high anticipated fight that went down between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury almost came to a screeching halt in the 12th round by disqualification because as the Bronze Bomber or Deontay Wilder laid into Tyson Fury with a right followed by a devastating left hook that dropped Fury to the ground and it looked like he was rendered unconscious. Ben Davison, the young trainer, wanted to jump into the ring and to support his fighter, to check on his fighter because of the severity of the knockdown. But as Freddie Roach stated, that spectators, along with the rest of the crew or the corner, wanted to, they had to hold him back to stay composed to see how that would panned out. Now, see, if Ben would have went into that ring, it would have been an automatic disqualification. So that was another thing or another issue that could have been very detrimental to that fight. Now imagine Tyson Fury gets up, but it was hauled off because Ben Davis jumped into the ring because of his concern for his fighter, which would have been understandable the way he came down. But as we all know, he got back up. So that would be no way for him to know because he wouldn't even have to count if Ben Davison would have jumped into the ring. But that just comes from the lack of experience in the ring versus, Freddie Roach, which has tons and tons and hundreds of fights under his, in that field, and at that level mostly. So I think that Freddie is basically. It's good to know, but again, I don't think because this was actually the same interview he had about he's unpleased and unhappy with the way Ben Davison instructed Tyson Fury to fight, and it might be true, it might not be true, or whatever. But one thing is apparent: I wouldn't have done it on that particular platform. I would have said that to Ben Davison. I wouldn't have said that publicly, because corner stuff is corner stuff. Because what Freddie Roach did, it comes off as someone not having unity in their corner, like you have some type of dysfunction, or dysfunctional corner. So if your corner and your men, they're talking against each other, they're saying this about each other, because we haven't really heard what Ben Davison said, but this won't go well. I don't. But again, it depends on how Ben Davison takes this information. Because this is not the first time, and it just popped up on my feeds today, as of hours ago. So, it was worth seeing. But of course, this was worth mentioning, and I would have mentioned that maybe, but I would have done it. If I was Freddie Roach, I would have just came to him like, hey, you don't do that. I wouldn't have told everyone else this is what he was about to do. You know what I mean? That should have been something in-house, not out of the house. You know what I'm saying? So I think that should have been handled a totally different way. But it does go to show, since the information is out, that how lack of experience, therefore, kills. And that could have easily happened in that fight, and that would have ultimately cheated Tyson Fury out of his victory, because we wouldn't have shown what he had inside him. We wouldn't have shown that his refusal to quit. We wouldn't have seen any of that if Ben Davison would have jumped his ass into that ring. You know what I mean? So I think that one or two things are going to happen at this point. Okay, I don't see Tyson Fury leaving Ben Davison, because Ben Davison is a lot more than the trainer, who's also a friend and someone that consoled Tyson Fury. In fact, I'll go farther. That's somebody that saved Tyson Fury's life. So I don't see him going anywhere. But Freddie Roach saying that they'll get together and talk about the next fight or whatever, that might not be Freddie Roach in the corner. He'll probably have Ricky Hatton there still, of course, and then Ben Davison. But I don't know if Freddie Roach. I'll be surprised if he does. But it just showed that they can get along. But I would instruct Freddie Roach, like, hey, if you have something to say to me, say it to me. Don't say it to reporters, because reporters are going to report, right? And that would be my recommendations for Ben Davison. Because, yeah, we know he's an inexperienced fighter. You don't have to, throw that in his face. Yeah, I know the severity of that, but it didn't happen. So there was no reason to really be talking about it to other people outside of your corner. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe, but, Freddie's just Freddie. Freddie will tell it how it is. He's the kind of guy that if he has something on his mind, apparently, he's going to let you know, right? So, but yeah, that could have been very, very bad for Tyson Fury if that would have happened, and Deontay Wilder would have won, and it would have still been controversial because, and it would have been because of the corner. Now, I can understand that, but I mean, what do you do at this point? Where do you go from here with that? You're telling everyone that, hey, this is what could have happened. All right, it didn't happen. So I don't know what else you want, or what other purpose would you have? Did you do that to help Ben, or you do that to help Tyson? You know what I mean? Because he mentioned going back, and there were guys who were going to meet in the UK, for a meeting or whatever. So I'm thinking like, okay, what is Freddie Roach's plans? Does he plan to just blast the corner and just walk away? You know what I mean? But apparently if he was going to do that, he wouldn't have said he was going to meet, in the UK for a meeting with everyone concerning the rematch, or the another possible fight that Freddie Roach can be a quote unquote cut man, right? So, but anyway, that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.